What's going on, guys? Welcome to Cruising with Kevin. Today we are going to be back working on the old AMC Matador here. I've been down and out all week, so we haven't really accomplished anything. We haven't even touched it since the last time you saw us here, so we'll see when we get this video up. But we're going to do a few things, kind of get back to doing the seats, and I might take a little scuff of the body here. We've got a little portable polisher here. Take a look at that. I got some parts in the fuel pump and fuel system and stuff, so we'll see what we can figure out with that. But let's dig into this thing and see what we can figure out here.
That's 2x4.
Yeah. All right, my Gratch has so much stuff in it right now. It's obnoxious to work in here, but we pushed the car out a little bit. So this seatbelt was sitting in the water, and it got rusted up from just sitting out there like that. So I'm just going to give it a quick clean here with the wire brush and give it an oil up before we try to make an attempt at screwing it back in here. The other side seemed like it was okay. The driver side one does have a plug into it. It must be the seatbelt buzzer. I don't know if you had to loop that to jump it or whatever, but we're just going to plug it back in, make an assumption that it was working or whatever. So clean this up and oil it up. And my wife was saying we should have washed the seatbelts here this week. Well, we weren't really doing anything, but that's okay. Get it cleaned up and go on to the next step here. All right, so she pulled the seat back out here. These seatbelts like curve forward to be able to like plug in, which is, it's kind of a weird thing, but that's how they go. I cleaned up this one a little bit, put a little bit of WD-40 on it. It wouldn't even turn before. I couldn't even get it spinning the thing, so it's about as good as it's going to get for now. We'll get this all put back together and then get these seats bolted in. All right, I'm going to wipe this once. All right, I have all sorts of random stuff here that I've been kind of just accumulating over the years from auction sales and random sales. Anyways, this one is a Mother surface prep. Obviously, I got it on sale one time. Cleans off waxes, oils, residue, all that stuff. I do have a bunch of like old polishing compound I want to try, like that I've had. I mean, it's old, like really old. I'll show you here in a second, but I'm gonna clean this off first. You're supposed to do the polishing compound not in the sun. The car's kind of outside, so I might just try a little on the back first and see how it goes. All right, she's still fighting the whole seatbelt situation there. While she's doing that, I'm gonna start cleaning this up with this surface prep stuff. I just want to try the trunk. This is kind of the worst part of the car. Just give me an idea what the rest of it's going to look like. If it turns out badly, well, then I guess I don't really need to go any farther. But this will kind of give me a good comparison to the rest of the car here before I go crazy and start trying to make the rest of the car look better. I know I should be working on other things like mechanical stuff, but the car's got to look good too, though. And honestly, I'm kind of procrastinating because I really don't want to have to pull this fuel tank out. I kind of suspect that's going to be coming down the road here. So, in the meantime, just doing this. It's crazy how dirty it is. This is just the surface grime. Okay, so I know for sure this stuff is probably like, I'm not even kidding, it's probably like 40 years old. We got it at an auction sale one time. Long story short, we ended up buying this whole like cube van full of stuff for like $25. Like there was like 20 gram worth of stuff there. Was dumb. Anyways, so this was in there. The guy did I don't know, he just stockpiled auto body stuff. He used to do woodworking and things. So this is Wynn's Classic Pearl Poly Plus, and I don't even know if it's good anymore. It's still liquid in there, but I don't know if stuff eventually goes bad, but I guarantee you it's at least 40 years old, maybe older than that even. Made in Mississauga, Ontario. So We brought this from Canada. I don't even know why I still have it, but the next thing here, we just got this Boca Bay. It's like just a 21 volt wireless buffer from Amazon here. So I'm going to give this thing a try. Basically, it says to do like a 1 meter section on with this stuff here. You let it go, you just buff it in, let it kind of sit, and then you hand buff it back out. So I'm going to try this and see how it works. All right, I might have used too much here. I don't know. I think I'm going to do half of it to see how it compares to the other half. Like I said, this is really old polish. If it doesn't work, I had it anyways. It was probably time to use it after like 40 or 50 years. So we'll give her a go here. I don't know how to use this, so we'll figure that out. The battery's fully charged here. I think there's some different, yeah, so this is number 1. So you're supposed to just buff this in and let it dry to a haze. Basically kind of use like a circular motion. And this would be way easier than hand buffing it, so figured this would be as good a place as any to try it. I know like all the years that I've tried different like buffing type compounds and stuff, the clay bar actually works really good if you guys have ever tried that. But they always say not to do it in the sun, and I always wondered why they said that. I actually don't know. If anybody knows the reason for that, I'm curious there. You can kind of see now. I don't know if I've used enough. Maybe a lot of it went into the cloth already, just because I first started using this buffing cloth here. So you can kind of see it hazed out really bad here. So I'll just kind of see how this looks after I just buff it in a little bit. And this chunk's pretty rusty, so it's a good test place. It's not going to hurt it or make anything worse, that's for sure. All right, I think I was a little bit short on material there, so I'm just going to put a little more on here and give it a try again. Buff more on there. Just to make sure it's got enough in it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've had some success. Honestly, the best stuff that I've had success with, and I actually have some which I could use, but it's the McGuire's Ultimate compound there. I've had some pretty good success with that. But figured I had this laying around. It's kind of fun to just mess around and try this kind of stuff once in a while. Figured why not, since this car is about as old as the compound probably. The two should go hand in hand pretty good. Good enough. This thing seems to work pretty good though. Alright, got my helper here. He's going to help me buff this out just to see. This has only been sitting for just a couple minutes. So let him try that. Put it like this, bud. And then just go like this. You do as much as you can reach and I'll do the rest. And then we'll see how it looks compared to the other side. We're probably doing lots wrong here, but hey, it is what it is. Go. Show you guys how it's starting to look already. So if you look at this side compared to that side, straight down, you can see where it splits there. This is the unpolished part. That's the polished part. It's a pretty drastic difference there. Alright guys, so obviously this 40 or 50-year-old polish works totally fine. You can see that's, if it was outside it would be a lot easier to show you, but I mean, this is what's buffed. And you can clearly see there the drastic difference. So super cool. I'm going to finish buffing this and then we'll continue on.
All right, I'm just finding the hole in the floor here so I can put this other buckle in on the passenger side, making the hole big enough, because when I did the driver's side, I didn't make it big enough, and then the carpet was too stretched. So I got to make it big enough so that I have the slack I need in the carpet, and I can get the buckle in, and then I'll make holes for the seat bolts, and I'll be done. Second time's a charm. Just kidding. Couldn't get it in. Thought it was like so easy. There it goes. Reupholstering a car is just like home renoing a house. It's never ending.
Pretty much. That is the truth.
The second seat's way easier because I know what I'm doing. It was like, see? It was like when we renoed our bathrooms. The first one was so hard and the second one was so easy.
Well, I'm out of the 2001 polishing spray. So I guess I'm going to have to find some other stuff here.
That one smells funky. All right. Buckle 2, done. Now, so from doing the first seat, I figured out that it's easiest if you just find the bolt holes first before you put the seat in. So you don't have to put it in and pull it out more than once. So this time I'm going to actually find them before I put the seat in. There it is.
Okay, continuing the tradition of using everything that's as old as the car, or as long as the car's been parked, depending on what the stuff was. Guarantee you guys have not seen this in a very, very long time. Still has a tag on it, $5.06, which is probably bought at a corner store way back when, but I guarantee you this stuff is, again, probably 40 years old. So I ran out of the 2001 stuff there that I've been trucking around forever. This bottle's about quarter, half full or something. So I'm going to try to clean up this back area here, finish polishing that up a little bit, just so it looks a little bit better. Still looking for a window glass for this thing. It's going to be the biggest hang up here, but this is a pretty big project here, especially limited time or whatever that we do have to work on it. So gotta see how this turns out with this stuff here. I haven't used it. This stuff usually is pretty like shiny and tacky, so we'll see how it works in the old school version. All right, you guys can see how shiny the trunk is now. It's pretty crazy how much that stuff actually did work. I wasn't sure just because it had been sitting so long, but I'm going to try this Armor All on here, see what it looks like. It's really, honestly, I'm just pretty much trying to get it cleaned up a little bit, get the dirt off. I should probably just take these speakers out of there. I don't even know why I'm leaving them there, because you know that they're not going to work anyways. I just realized there is no trunk speakers here, which would be easy to put some in there. I should just cut those wires and take those out of here, which I probably will do right away here. So I'm not sitting there trying to fight around them. I'll try to see how this cleans up. I hand washed it with soap and water a few times already. It's just so dirty. It's hard to get everything perfectly clean. Look like they had, I'm just realizing now. Yeah. Everybody remember when everybody got on the blue sticky tack trend? So that's what they were using on these speakers to hold them down to the back. That's hilarious. See that? It's like bubble gum. That's crazy that stayed on there that long. Anyways, wipe this all down, see how it looks. Actually seems like it's working all right. Would even be better than the old 2001 stuff here. All right, it's not perfectly clean, spotless, but it actually turned out all right. Still could use another cleaning. This whole car just kind of needs a good deep cleaning, but a lot better than it looked before. So she is getting that seat bolted in. We realized why it's missing a bolt is because we actually found all the bolts except for one. But we think that when they were trying to remove the seats, they probably broke a bolt flush there. So just getting that done. And then I'm going to try to roll this thing back and try to do a little bit more buffing out of the sun here. Okay, so you're just trying to figure out here, the seat tracks kind of got moved from each other here. So I'm going to help her get this lined up. And we'll get this one bolted in, and I think that should be the bulk of the interior. We need to clean up the floor mats that were in it and stuff, so we just threw a set that we had laying around here just so we don't get the floor so dirty. All right, before I commit to putting this new fuel pump in, I put an extra gallon of gas in it. It's got like 3 gallons in it, so if that doesn't start it, then for sure the pump is bad. I just don't understand because the pump looks new. I mean, it could have been put in, then parked 20 years ago, and maybe the diaphragm went bad, but something doesn't seem right to me. That's not like a crazy long time for it to not have been used, but we'll see. Give her a fire up here and hoping that it catches gas this time. That started up nice. So I still have the fuel line disconnected over here. So if it was going to start pumping, it would start spraying out of there. I don't think I'm going to be that lucky by the looks of it.
I think I'm going to need your help.
All right, I've accepted facts that I'm going to have to change this fuel pump. It's not picking up, so got a new one anyways. Whatever. Pretty much verified as if it's not that, then it's either a fuel line issue or a tank or something issue, but we'll take it apart here. Probably actually should have blown into it when I had the air compressor hose out, but yeah, we know we got enough gas in it now, so take this apart and see how it goes here. They put it in a really stupid spot here. All right, I didn't record all that because I was like half an hour of me just smashing my knuckles and whatever, but I just take it all apart where it goes into, it actually goes through the fender well and then runs along the frame there. Not sure why they did that. That seems like a very strange routing for fuel line, but anyways, I got it out. Not sure how I'm going to get back in. The problem was here, this hose is so like rotten there that I couldn't get it to turn to get it apart while I was in the car. I might just have to get a new trunk of fuel line here. I don't really know why this couldn't be just rubber going to the top. That would simplify it a lot. So I'll figure that out and then get the new one in. All right, so I'm not familiar with AMC's here, so I don't feel any rod, and it's got like a weird little shape to this fuel pump, and it seemed like the old one was okay. So see, all I see here, I'm just checking with the camera, and all I see here is like, I don't see a rod like a Chevy has. It just looks like a cam lobe to me, so unless it just rides just on that cam lobe up and down a little bit or something. That's what it looks like to me, so I'm not too sure here. All right, I've been trying to get that stupid fuel pump in for the last hour and I can't get it, so I'm just going to walk away for a little bit here because I'm starting to get frustrated. So I'm going to go back and start going on the shaded side of the car here, doing a little cleanup and see if I can continue doing a little more buffing. And then maybe when my son gets home, I'll get him to try. I don't know. It's got a little different cam eccentric in there or whatever, however it works. But anyways, I'm pissed off now, so I'm going to go to something else. All right, I'm gonna go back to the stuff. I got lots of it left here, so I'm just gonna put it on the applicator this time since I'm on the side of the car. I'll try to just put it on the actual buffing pad and see how that works. All right, I let that sit while I was trying to figure out how to get the cam eccentric figured out there. So I don't know if I've been asking people online there on some of the AMC groups if I'm doing something wrong or what, because I can't get it in there. It's just like it needs to be underneath how Chevys are almost, but it doesn't have that, is what everybody's saying. It doesn't have the lobe. It just rides on the cam itself. So I don't understand why it won't go in. It would just, I can get it 3/4 of the way and it's like it's hitting something, and I try to like fiddle around with it, and I don't know like if something in there has fallen, but I mean it's super long compared to a Chevy. A Chevy you can grab it with your finger and you can lift up on that cam rod. I can't feel anything on this one, so I don't really know. Wow, this looks good. Man, this looks really good. I suppose you would just hand buff around things like the edges and stuff like that, I guess, if you knew what you were doing, which I don't. Okay, guys, so there is the trunk that I did, the side panel, and then look at how much of a difference there is from the door to this side fender, the quarter panel, I should say, I guess, that I just did. Let me just go outside and see if you can see it any differently or not. But I mean, that is a drastic difference. Like, that's like the paint itself made it look new. You have to remember in these years, like, even if it had been repainted at some point, it probably still had single stage paint on it. So you have to be careful about how you buff them and clean them and things, because it'll lift the paint, right? So super happy with how that looks. So, I mean, that's a massive difference. Cool. Keep going, I guess. All right. After fighting with this thing for like, I don't know, hour and a half or two, maybe, I waited for my son to get home, and then I tried to bump it over while we were trying to install it. And then I realized we were putting it in upside down. That was my fault.
Not we.
No, you're right. It was me. So, because the fuel line's coming from the top on this one, it's kind of a weird setup, but the rod goes the other way. That makes it seem like you're trying to get it underneath, because I'm so used to small block Chevy. So anyway, so apparently it goes in super easy when it's not upside down. So it probably wouldn't have worked very well if I would have got it in. So anyways, I was the one to take it out. So we're going to put this thing in, try to get these fuel lines back on. There's a short little hose that goes in where the factory line connects there. It was so hard, I couldn't get it. I couldn't even literally get it apart. And where it connects through the through the fender well there too was rock hard. So we're going to change that, and then we'll see what we got here.
I wonder how many times this fuel pump has been changed.
This came from, where did that go? I don't know. This thing looks like it's new though, and when you push it, like, it sounds like
vacuum.
It works. Yeah. So, don't you think that sounds like a good one?
It's hard to tell.
Could be.
What's up with the Motorcraft carburetor?
I guess that's what they came with. I don't know.
Did they?
I would assume so. I know they came with a 2-barrel.
Motorcraft was Ford though. Right.
I think AMC was just bargain bin parts, I'm pretty sure.
Intel dodgeball. I don't know.
Not dodgeball
Chrysler.
or whatever. So they're both good?
Yeah, I think. Only
Okay,
way to find out. They're beveled, so they can only go in one way.
Alright, we just fired it up with the new fuel pump. It's trying to see if there's any fuel coming. Sometimes it takes a while to pick up, so we just left the hose clamp loose. I'm gonna find by now. All right, after messing around for a bunch yesterday trying to get that fuel pump in, I finally got my son to help me, and then as soon as I watched him go to install it, I realized I was putting it upside down the whole time. It's because the arm is like opposite of a small block Chevy, and that's always what I've done, so new thing. Anyways, that was a dumb mistake, and I knew it was something stupid like that. That's why I just gave up before I got too mad. So there was still no fuel after that. I bought like a couple of these little just Amazon clickety-clack little cheap $9 fuel pumps here or whatever. So I hooked it up. I know it's pretty high here. I'll show you guys this, but it's I just basically, the line for the fuel goes in through the fender well and then down on the frame, which is kind of dumb, but anyways, I just hooked it up to the rubber line there. We'll see if it picks up fuel. It's pretty high. It really needs to be probably like at the frame rail, so it's below the fuel line, but it might start sucking. We'll see what it does here. And if it doesn't, then we know that there's probably an issue with the line. If this doesn't work, I might try to blow backwards to the line and see if it builds up pressure in the tank or not, or it builds up pressure in the line or whatever, but you should hear it bubbling. So I used my favorite thing here ever. Everybody has their own things. This is like the zip tie of the automotive world, man. You got Marettes. You can do a lot of stuff. I'm just going to string that over to the... Got a couple wires wired up here. I'm going to string it over to the battery and we'll see if this thing pumps at all. I'm way behind in my video this week because I've been so sick, but slowly trying to recover here. So, red is positive. Oh, it sounds like it was picking up fuel already to me. Maybe not, but it's doing something. Probably start spraying right at me here if it does come. So you can see that little clickety-clack pump I got hooked up there. It does not seem to be working. So it's gonna take it out of the hose here and see if we hear it like pressured up or not. I don't know. It's in there pretty good, so it'd be hard to believe that it wouldn't pump. I'm going to try it again here. Take 13. All right, I got my wife in the back there listening to see if I can hear any gurgling out of the fuel tank when I do this, so that's my plan here. It's hard to hold it with this bigger one, but I don't have any smaller ones right now. Ready? Ooh. It's not even... Huh. That is a lot of back pressure. How could it possibly be that plugged? Someone has the Pole Barn grad shirt on for, hey look, the green truck in the background, you match. For St. Patrick's Day. Apparently everybody was pinching me because it's St. Patrick's Day. So, I'm going to hook this back up. We blew through the line. I took the hose right off and we went right to the main line there. So, we're going to, I just hooked a rubber hose line that's a little bit better condition onto that electric pump, and we're gonna see if it'll pump now. Oh, just hold that in there.
You're just
Oh,
sticking
shaky.
wires onto it?
Hmm?
You're sticking wires on it? Where'd you go?
I put 3 gallons of gas in there, but it almost seems like it's low on fuel because you can feel air coming out of the fuel tank now. All right, put another 2 gallons of gas. So that's like 5 gallons in it. So if that doesn't work, I don't understand. It's definitely blowing through now. The gas that's like barely pulling out here, it's like a couple drops pulling out, is just like pure brown. So I'm hoping that that's just a little bit of what's in the line. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, I think that was enough into the engine. So
Coming out though.
that was super dirty for sure.
Extremely brown.
I think we're gonna put a little bit into a jug. All right, we started pumping in there. Thought I'd better show you guys here because it's kind of pretty bad. Considering that's all supposed to be new gas. The best solution is dilution here. I think we're probably gonna have to get another 5 gallons and add it to there just to dilute it down some for sure. I was hoping once it pumped a little bit that it would do a little bit better, but
Man. That's bad.
holy, it looks like Coca-Cola.
I mean, on the bright side, it's pumping.
Probably the lower you go, the better it would pump. I don't know if you can put it somewhere lower or not.
Lower.
If you can. If you can't, whatever. Alright, that's like after it got dumped out. It's just like... It's not even like loose, it's like just chunks of stuff because you can see when you... It doesn't actually like come off the bottom there. That's not ideal. It's probably not going to run very good for a while, but do the best we can here and see if it'll fire up, I guess. All right, since it seems like this is going to take a while to actually get empty, because I put... There really should be... See, it looks like it's clearing up a little bit now.
But it looked like that when I was putting it in the bottle.
Did it? So I figure I'm just going to put it into this container instead and we'll see how much it...
Hope so.
Because I put about 5 gallons in it anyway, so if we can get a bunch of that back out, maybe it'll help flush it out and then I'll refill it with some good gas and hopefully that's good enough. Does seem cleaner though. Grab that bottle and let's try to put a little more in there just to see.
Just see the corrosion.
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Not
Not tons.
No,
Just kidding.
just kidding. When it comes out in bubbles, so it looks lighter.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Well. Yeah, we could probably try that. Might help. I'm just going to put the bucket onto the floor and see if that'll help it pump a little quicker. All right. Just got the little pump going, put the battery charger on there. It's pumping pretty steady here, but pretty good flow there. Gonna have to waste like this 5 gallons of gas, I guess, but hopefully that helps clean up a bunch of the stuff that was in the tank. I'm sure it's still gonna be dirty, but I'll probably have to daisy chain some fuel filters in line there to be able to get it to filter a little bit before it actually hits the carb. I figured I should probably pull this pan out before it gets too full. We pulled a gallon out before this. Ooh, that is not very clean. Ooh, that's getting pretty full. Seemed like a good idea until I had to pull it out. I'm just going on a limb and saying that's not good gas. Could be wrong, but all right. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. All right, here's where we're at. I went and I pumped out, I guess I had more in it than that. I had about 7 gallons, I guess, but I think I pumped about 5 back out and it stopped pumping, so I don't know. I I put about another 5 gallons back into it here. Prime the fuel pump. Prime the carb. I put an inline fuel filter here just because I know it's probably going to catch a bunch of junk. And then I still have the original fuel filter, which I have a new one for, but I figured I'm going to run this one for a little bit first and see how much it catches. We'll see if it even runs and idles and stuff here. So let's see what happens. You can see it's pumping in there quite a bit. I don't know if it'll stay running. I gotta shut it off. It's leaking fuel like crazy here. Ooh, something's flooding here. Not sure what's leaking here. Maybe the hose clamps? And I suspect, well, the gas looks better for sure. Yeah, this old fuel line's leaking. All right. I'd like to say I never had a car fight me like this before, but this is about the norm for me. So take 37 of this debacle. All right, we got fuel coming again. If you guys could see in the fuel filter here. There's starting to pick up fuel. It doesn't seem like a very steady flow. That's how the pump seemed too, like when it was pulling. It's like acting like it's taking a while for it to actually get fuel. Now, I'm not saying that main fuel filter couldn't be plugged. I haven't changed it yet, so there's a possibility of that. Interesting. All right, let's see if this thing will pull forward out of the garage under its own power, and you can see how the paint will look after it gets out of the garage here. Because I buffed this entire side. Now this door sticks like every single time. Something has to be adjusted apparently. All right, you guys can see here, if you look really close, again, it's hard to see because I'm not on the sunny side here. I could probably turn it around and show you guys, but I mean, that is a massive difference, and I didn't work that hard at it. I could probably do the front fender a little better because I didn't have a ton of room to work at, but I mean, it is night and day difference there. So if you compare it to this side, it is really night and day difference there. So kind of show you here. Take a little close up before we get this side done. All right, there's a little smoke coming off things just from it burning off old bread and gas, but seems to be staying running anyways. Getting a little smoke there. I should probably pull it away from the garage. All right, guys, you saw it drove out of the garage under its own power here. The brakes definitely stick. I got some brake parts on order for it here, but so far so good. So that'll show you how much of a difference there is now. It's out in the sun and it's super dirty right now. I mean, I just buffed this and it's so dusty outside. It's hard to see it, but it's like major dusty. But look at the drastic difference of that. I did this side and the trunk lid, and this was just a quick job. See, the taillights are sticking on, and this side just looks hideous in comparison still, so it's coming along. All right, it's running a little choppy because of the old gas. We haven't registered or insured it yet, unless the cops ask. We're just gonna go for a little burn up the road. I don't want to go too far in case it doesn't make it very far, but seems like it runs not terrible. Speedometer works, brake lights on, of course. The gas is pretty rough. Oh, I think that might be the end of our journey here.
We made it.
We made it.
Almost to the end of the driveway.
Come on. Don't be like that. It's only got like, see, if you push the brakes, then they just stay on themselves. And it stalls out, so you can just coast yourself to a nice fuel-saving drive. Look, see, you just have to know where you're starting and know where you're going if you want to actually make it there and back. That's the trick to success here. Man, this thing coasts pretty good. Hopefully I don't have to come and rescue it. Holy cow, that was coasting a long ways. Don't mind us, guys. Just out for a nice cruise with our engineless car. Oh man, that is quality. Okay, well, what is the plan here? Make an attempt at turning in here. Holy cow, that thing coasts good. Don't use the brakes. There we go. Ooh, that was sketchy. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little sketchy. It's like it gets gas, but it's like not good enough gas to actually like run great. Uh-oh. Come on. All right, time to rip it. You gotta drive it in first gear to keep them RPMs up. Just to make sure we get back up the hill. Oh! Man, it doesn't even have enough power to spin the tires on gravel. Well, that was lackluster. Lacklustery. Will it stay running? Oh, barely. I don't think that's a go for too far of a drive thing until that kind of burns itself off, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, it doesn't like that gas apparently.
How much did you put in?
4 gallons.
Well, there's still crap gas in the bottom of the tank.
Probably. Do, 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 do. Come on now. I'll have to keep running it and it'll burn itself off. Come on. Would be better if the brakes worked and didn't stick every time, because then it just wants to like stick the brakes while I'm trying to like gas it to get it to go. If you know how to drive a carburetor when it's running badly, you can do it, but not when the brakes are sticking to the floor. Come on. Quiet. Oh.
We only have a whole yard of cars to avoid.
Try to run it a little bit and see if it'll be okay once it warms up here. I don't know if the temperature gauge works. I think it would have been showing something by now. I expect it probably doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. It adjusts your mirror from over here.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's interesting. How does that work?
A wire or something that goes through there.
It's trying to run now. I'm sure the carburetor's dirty too. That probably doesn't help. It ran half decent before it had all this old gas in it, so I'm sure that's not helping the issue. Man, perfect rear view mirror for my no rear window.
Just gives us fresh air while you're driving.
I want to drive it, but I can't go very far here. It literally right to the floor didn't even have enough power to spin the tires on the gravel coming in. That was weak. Speedometer bounces like an old school speedometer here. Oh, that was short-lived. All right, so this is the fuel filter here. Just as I was pulling back in, Oh, it's leaking a little down there too, it looks like. But the oil light came on, so I don't know if there's an actual oil problem or if it's just the sensor or it's just a dummy light on this one, so who knows. Usually they work. They don't usually not work and then work. So that's a little concerning, but it wasn't making any noise or anything. Sounded pretty normal, so I don't know. But that fuel filter is like, there's a lot of pressure against it there, so. And you can see the carb is leaking like I thought when I first got it running, but obviously that's a problem now. So a lot of things wrong here, but whatever, making strides in the right direction. First little drive there. I'll finish up the paint probably tomorrow on this thing. Get this thing buffed out, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It'll probably needs a carburetor. Not sure what else here. But anyways, at least we're making some headway here. Upon closer inspection, you could see that thing is just full of rust. So that's probably why it won't idle. I'm glad I put that filter in there before the other filter, because that's going to be a continual problem until it cleans itself up. It was weird. We heard like a little vent, and I walked to the back and I opened the gas cap, and it's just fully pressured up in the tank. So I'm not sure, but I'm kind of getting over it for right now. So I'm gonna go have a little fire with the family here and figure it out tomorrow. All right, guys, I was planning on finishing up the buffing today, but I'm not going to get any further with it here. I actually wanted to work on the fuel system a bit, but it's like insane windy out today, like dumb. So I'm not even going to open the garage, and I don't have room to work in here to do it. So I'll show you kind of where we got, and I guess let's figure out what we're going to do next on it here. All right, I'll just give you a once over, but you can kind of see there's definitely some like rust here. And you can see how dirty it is already just from that being so dusty here lately. But it turned out really good compared to like how the paint was before versus now. You can really see this is the stuff I haven't done yet. So the big things here, obviously, it still needs the back window. I do have a couple options for that. You can see how this was before. I obviously missed a spot here, but that looks pretty decent now. Other than a couple little spots like that in the seats look really good. The door panels look really good. I mean, honestly, we got the carpets in. I do have the original floor mats that came with it here. Need to do a little bit more tidying up on the dash here and stuff. But I mean, honestly, the whole interior here turned out pretty awesome, actually. I mean, everything seems to work. The driver door sticks, you got to like unlock it, lock it, and then open the door all the time. I'm not sure what's up with that. Something with the linkage. The carpet you can see looks really good. I mean, honestly, everything shined up really good. The front glass is good on this thing. So that's kind of where we're at. And then you can see, like I said, the fuel system there. I mean, the fuel filter is just filthy in this thing. So that's not gonna work like that. So just gonna end up with more problems. And I'd like to try to get the AC going. So basically that's where we're at with that. It does need something done with the roof too, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. But I also ordered brake lines that those actually just came in today, and a master cylinder. So once those are in, then it should be drivable. Just the fuel system thing. So I don't know if I'm just going to put a fuel cell in the tank or in the trunk. Sorry, I'm thinking that's probably what's going to happen here. I won't hack anything up, but I'll probably just screw it to the floor or something like that. There's already that punch hole out for the drain or whatever, so I can just run a couple lines for that from the return to the tank, and probably just put like a 10-gallon tank back there or something with a 2-barrel. The way it's running here, it's probably that would last forever. Probably be a cool little cruiser, but I don't know. People haven't been super interested in this one, so I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking I like the car, actually. I think it's really cool, and once I drive it, I might get attached to it, but I only have so much room for stuff here, and if people aren't interested in it, then I guess I'll kind of move on to the next one. But we'll see how it goes. I still have some stuff I want to do to it. and I want to see once the paint's all polished and it's actually fully in the sun and everything what it looks like. But pretty happy with it overall. So let me know what you guys think of this thing here, and I guess like if you want to keep seeing it on the channel or not. Otherwise, I got a bunch of other projects to be working on here right now. My Camaro's got a million things. I've got that other Pontiac Tempest I really want to get to. That the only reason that thing hasn't been brought in yet is because it had so many mice in it. It stunk so bad, and with it being an attached garage like that, it would just stink up my house. So that's really been my only hang up there. But I'd like to get working on that thing and see if we can get it apart. If anybody knows of anybody selling in a single post hoist for like $2,500 or less, when I'm saying that, I'm talking about the portable ones. So looking for something that you can just wheel around, because that would make my life a lot easier in here. I'm just not into working on the ground anymore. I did that my whole life, and kind of just looking for some solution here that would be a portable solution that I could use when I build a shop here. So as always, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share me around on social media. I am Cruising with Kevin on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.